morning. Good morning. How's everybody out there? Happy Monday to everyone. I'm Brenda Perryman, and I will be with you until 8 o'clock. I think I do have a guest coming in, though. It's a kind of good news story that it's a follow up to something we talked about months ago. But I first want to talk about the flood real quick in Houston because I think everybody's checking on their people in Houston. I have cousins there, I have friends there, and a lot of people I know, everyone I know knows someone in Houston. One of my former neighbors' daughter, she went out. She said she shouldn't have gone out, but she had to run to the store, and she almost got caught up in that flood. But it reminds me of 3 years ago. I don't know how Highland Park fared with the flood, but my basement was flooded at least 3 feet. I had at least 3 feet of water. Anytime the water could just move the washing machine and the dryer, and I just lost power of my freezer, just everything. It's like I had to throw so much stuff out, and well, of course, I had to throw the freezer out too, but and throw the washer and dryer. I had to, and hot water heater. So every time I would see rain after the flood, every time I would see rain, I ended up getting kind of shocked, just scared that it would happen again. And in Houston, it seems to be much worse, and the water's still rising. And all of us remember Katrina, where, okay, the rain has stopped, but the water continues to rise. And that's where it gets really kind of dangerous, very, very dangerous. So, my prayers go out to the people of Houston. A lot's happening here in the city. I've talked to a lot of people who have their thoughts on who's going to be the next mayor of the city of Detroit. And I happened to be at an event, ironically, at the DMC on Saturday, and I saw the mayor, Mayor Duggan, there. And it was funny because all I've heard about was how he destroyed things at the DMC, and here were all these people outside because it was kind of like they say it was his idea for the heart hospital. I don't know, but there were a lot of people on Saturday whose hearts have been repaired by the heart hospital, and maybe that's a part of the DMC, but it seems to be separate also. And it doesn't have an inpatient unit. If you've gone down Mac, you have seen that DMC Heart Hospital, and they don't have regular patient rooms. They have intensive care though. But from the people I talked to, they just laud it so much because they say it was just really, really, really great for them. And it almost made me want to cry. You see these older people, like 91, who had had their hearts repaired, and they're just walking around, and it just warms your heart that some of these people were not given an opportunity. Some places said, well, they're not going to make it, give up. But some of the doctors who spoke, they did not give up on these people. And one of the doctors, I guess the doctor who's the head doctor, Dr. Schreibner or something, he came from Beaumont Hospital. And boy, it seems like they did a darn good job for people. So anything that could save lives. I had Dr. Kaki on last Friday on my show talking about the heart, and I'm going to have him come back because we have several things that really afflict our community besides the obvious poverty and other extraneous forces like that. But health wise, we have diabetes, we have heart disease, we have cancer, and other things that really afflict our community. And I would just say, I don't know, women more than likely go to the doctors more than men. And I don't know why some men are hesitant to go to the doctor. I know men who go to the doctor religiously, like my brother. He goes to the doctor religiously, and like he just had something happen to him. He went for an eye exam, and he lives part time down in Georgia and then part time up here. But he went to a doctor down in Georgia, and the doctor said, asked him, was he in an accident? And he said, no. And he said, the doctor said, because you have a hole in the back of your eye. We have no idea how that happened. So he came up here and he went up to Ann Arbor to get checked, and they said it was so. You should get a second opinion for some things. He had a hole in the back of his eye, so he had to get surgery. And the bad thing about that particular surgery is the fact that he has to walk with his head down. He cannot lift his head up. He has to keep his head down for, I think, 2 weeks or something like that. It's not, I mean, can you imagine walking around like this all the time? And, but it's supposed to heal him, so I just hope. But Bankole Thompson, um, and Bankole has been on my show, and he has a show on 910, and he did a I'm just dropping things. He did his column says Detroit reports cites inequities by numbers, and let me read a little bit of this to you. If Detroit's recovery was an issue in litigation today, the city's defense would be a failing argument that would subject officials to scathing scrutiny both in the court of law and in the court of public opinion. And the evidence that embarrassingly contradicts the touted comeback is contained in a recent report related to Detroit Future City. The blistering 139 miles report shows the city's majority African American population lagging behind in the socioeconomic index, which we figure, and that such a trend could continue even if it attempts to present an optimistic tone for the future. But the numbers in the report don't lie, and we need to deal with that reality. Now, let me give you the numbers. Since the first quarter of 2010, Detroit has added 30,000 private sector 30,000 private sector jobs, increasingly increasing the total number of jobs in the city to 238,400. Just come on in and have a seat right there for a minute. Uh, 238,400. The rate of private job growth in the period has been slightly higher, 17%, than the rest of the country, which is 16%. Notably, this growth has not been concentrated in downtown and midtown, but also in many of the city's key industrial areas. Detroit has matched or exceeded the region in trading clusters, but has had a lower job gains in neighborhoods serving businesses, the report says. Now, my guest just came in, but after I interviewed them, I'm going to come back to this because neighborhood businesses. I want to talk about that because neighborhood businesses, some people open up in the neighborhood and then they get broken into and then they close down. A lot of neighborhood businesses, unless you have the money to really put in there and secure your place, it gets, you can suffer. You can suffer with break ins and sometimes robberies. And that's the unfortunate thing. That may not be all the reason why we don't have a growing neighborhood business like they have uh, downtown. But like last night, I just want to say this. I had Carolyn Crawford, Melvin Davis on last Friday, And I went to their performances last night because Melvin Davis had a 75th birthday. That man was dancing all over the stage. But they were at a bar called the Marble Bar. And I believe it's white owned. It's right on Holden, right around the corner from the boulevard in Trumbull. And they took it what looked like a hole in the wall on the outside. And you walk in and you see all this new stuff and all. There are a lot of vacant buildings over there. But see, that area near the boulevard is getting ready to boom. Because remember, Motown is building an amphitheater right behind Hitsville. A lot of things are getting ready to happen. East Grand Boulevard, West Grand Boulevard. So that's the area. And that's what happens. People jump on things and they may not do anything with the property for a while, but then they see what's happening and they start building. And then if they want to sell their places, they sell it for a lot of money. But I have a good news story for you, and my guests are here. And then right after their interview, we're going to come back to this about the jobs and about future cities. Is Detroit really a future city? We'll be back in just a moment. I am back. I am back. I am back with a success story. Several years ago, I mean, several months ago, it seemed like it was winter time,
Was.
that I had these two people on the show, Mrs. Irby and her son Terry, and Terry needed a kidney transplant, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And they are back to talk about some exciting news. So, which one of you wants to tell the audience?
You can.
Um, as of April of this year, Terry has a donor for a kidney transplant, which is such a blessing, and he's really being diligent. And the transplant will take place in February,
Wow.
December or February.
Wow. I mean, that's a blessing, a good news story,
Yes.
transplant. So let's do a little bit of the background for people who don't know.
Hmm.
Why don't you tell them what happened, and then maybe you could tailgate Terry, or Terry could. What happened to make you know that something was wrong?
Um, Actually, we went for a football physical, and I noticed that morning, like, hey, your face kind of swole, looking kind of clammy. So I thought, well, don't eat anything. We'll test you for diabetes because his dad died of diabetic complications. And we went to the doctor. I told him to take a 12-panel blood test,
A 12 pound.
12-panel blood
Oh,
test
okay.
where they check all
All of the
everything.
everything.
And came back the following day that his kidneys was only functioning at 5%.
5%.
5%.
So, you had also told me that there were other little signs too, because
Fatigue.
fatigue.
Um,
He was forgetting
yes,
things.
going to sleep in school. Me being a mother felt like, oh, it's girls.
Yeah.
It's girls.
Ah, those
Them
girls.
girls. That's the first thing I said. These girls. Then to find out that the endorphins was being poisoned by the toxins of the kidneys
My
of his
goodness.
mind. So
My goodness. So Terry, when did you start noticing something was going on?
I didn't. I really didn't.
you couldn't tell. Other than his face being clammy, Terry was still going to football practice. He was still being active. When I came to get him to take him to the hospital, he was just leaving the auditorium for some assembly they had for gym, and I'm just so irate. I'm running through the school like, I need you here now.
I, I,
And he came around.
I just came from gym class.
I'm like, oh my God, and I was so frantic, and we got him there, and now we're here.
Wow. But then it started. you had to search for a
Yes.
donor. Why don't you
Yes.
tell the audience what that has been like?
Whew, you gonna make me cry. I tell you.
Take your time.
Um, it was hard. I mean, prayer. Um, some awesome people that has came across in my life that has helped with this search. I put out flyers. Um, went in every police station, every fire station to set up flyers so people could know he needed this help.
And I ran into you one day over at P80
Mm-hmm.
gym, and
Yes.
you had stuff. I mean, you just all over. You gave
Everywhere.
skating parties.
Bowling fundraisers, um, sell little desserts, dinners, whatever, because I haven't been able to actually go back to work yet because of the scheduling and trying to prepare for what he needs to have done.
Now, see, you're on dialysis, right?
Yes.
Tell me, uh, how many hours, how many days a week?
I go to dialysis 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So right after I leave here, I'll be going. And it's usually, I have a 4 hour treatment. So I'll probably be there for about 5, 6 hours.
Gee. So, how did you, were you able to go to school?
Yes, I'm able to go to school, but I like have to leave early because my usual treatment time is 2 o'clock. But I'm going in early today.
Wow. Yeah, I had shown the little film that
Mm-hmm.
um,
Marcus.
Marcus had done on Terry. I should have, but since we just talked Friday,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to just pull it up. I should have done it, but they would have put it in my file. But it was so great. But
He is an awesome young man.
yes,
He's
yes,
so
I
awesome.
had him on the show. In fact, I gotta give him a call. But Terry, how is your energy?
Right now, oh, it's still pretty good. I still can run around, play basketball, and do whatever.
Really?
Yes. I'll probably be tired sometimes after treatment, but other than that, I'm pretty energized.
Well, that's good. But you know that once you get that donor and everything just kind of goes right, then you won't have to do dialysis.
All right.
That
And
senior year is going to be so beautiful because there will be no more dialysis. There'll
I,
be no more treatments. I was hoping for the junior year, but it wasn't our time. So God is working with
well,
us.
you know, it's all in God's time.
Mm-hmm.
And tell the audience too, Mrs. Irby, tell them what how hard this has been on you, financially and all
Ooh.
of that.
Oh, financially, oh, it has been a stretch. It's been difficult, but through the grace of God and good people, his godmother, when it first happened, I was devastated and
Yes.
was trying to figure out how we were going to get from here and there. But
Oh,
like they say, God provides.
right.
And she initially started a GoFundMe page and told the story. And through that, we were able to, because before that, we had lost our house. And now we've moved and we have a house. And God provides. That's all I can say is God provides. Um, but
Do you need anything now? Tell me.
a car, no. We was late, but we were a little tedious. But my car is still terrible. But
Oh,
we
you
working
made it
on
in the car?
it.
It only goes 24, so
Huh?
it only goes 24, so
Oh,
20.
24 miles per hour. Yes.
Oh my God. Now somebody out there has to have a car 24 miles an hour.
Oh, it take us a minute. We would have been here on time, but like I
Yeah,
said, we
right,
put
right.
along from this
Now
generation to the other.
somebody has a car sitting out in their garage or that they don't use. I mean, come on now. 24 miles an hour.
That's it. And you know what? It's so funny you say this to me. It's like, cause I went to the shop and they said, well, I'm gonna get an estimate of what needs to be done. Is it feasible to fix this car or to try to find another car? So I went and the man gave me an estimate. He was like, 50, just say 1454. That's $1,500 all day. Come on, you need a transmission, you need this. I'm like, you know what, Lord Jesus, we gonna ride this one out
I know.
until we could do better.
Yeah, I had this car once. I had this car when I stopped at the light too long, it was shut off. But
Oh,
what I had to do was I stopped at the light because
put your
I
foot
was
on the gas.
teaching. Well, I put the car in park, had to lift the hood, open up the little clutch thing, and then run back and jump in the car. Hey, I understand. I understand.
Oh my
But
goodness.
24 miles an hour. I
Oh,
know
we get there. We
y'all be
travel.
going. Yeah.
And people were so rude, so mean. They just walk past, right past you, give you the fingers, and all of this is. And he made plenty money off of me because I have road rage when people do that to me. So he had me on a cuss jar, a swear jar. So I mean, it's just a quarter, but
I
my mouth
know.
get the flipping.
I've been the victim of the
Oh,
cussing jar.
oh yes, my mouth get the flipping, and he just get to laughing like, I got her, I got her.
So you stay in the right lane all the time, don't you? You don't get over in the.
But
Nope,
this
you would
way.
think so. You would think so. Nope.
Hey, I gotta go. Like I can go there fast, but I gotta go.
Listen, I understand. Well, if anyone has car that goes more than 24 miles an hour. I mean, we're laughing about this. It's not funny though,
It's
because she
not.
has to get him to dialysis
It's done.
and
And
all
I'm
of
trying to
that.
go back to work.
And it's almost winter.
It's almost winter.
Oh, oh my goodness, almost
It's
winter.
almost winter.
Now, how did you get the donor? I mean, where did they come from? Where did the donor come?
In actuality, the donor is from Chicago.
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 We,
Um,
that's really something that we
I,
couldn't get a donor from Michigan.
it's really something. It's really something. But
You
through,
don't care where it came from.
exactly. I wouldn't care if it was in
Do you
Africa.
do you
We, if they come in, let's come. Thank you, Jesus.
can you will you be able to meet the donor?
At this point, it's open for the donor if they would like to meet, but it won't happen until after the transplant.
Okay, okay. I've known a couple of people to have transplants, and it has really extended their lives, and the
Hmm.
quality of life is so much better. And Terry, what are you, 16 or 17?
15.
15. You hear this Melvin Franklin voice on a 15-year-old? I mean, I'm ready for you to sing Old Man River. But no, I mean, you have so much to give, and the fact that he was in cast tells
Still
you that,
there.
and he's still in cast tells you that he's academically, he's got it up here too. So, we always talk about without your health, you don't have anything, and that's the truth. You
Hmm.
can be the smartest person in the world, you could be the richest person in the world, but if without your health, you can't have anything. Now, Cass lost that game the other day. Were
Yeah,
you there?
I was definitely there. It was sad. Going in the locker room after a loss like that, I mean, we beat ourselves.
Really?
Yeah, it was lack of communication.
Lack of communication. Oh, wow. Uh, was Coach upset?
I mean, he wasn't so much upset about the loss. He was upset about us joking around about the loss. That's what
You have
got to.
joked about the loss?
We
Cass
was
Tech, the
man.
number one team in the state. Who did they lose to again?
Pickering Central in Ohio.
Oh, yeah, it was an Ohio team. It was funny because I was at the gas station Friday. Remember, gas prices going up because of the flood down in
Texas.
Texas, right? And a man pulled up on the other side of the gas tank. He had a hearse. He
Hmm.
pulled up in a hearse from Lynch and Sons, and he got out and my grandson was pumping my gas, and he had on his football jersey. He's only 11, but he plays, and started talking about football, and he said, "You know, Cass lost," and I already knew Cass lost, because and then because Southfield lost too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my old school that I taught at, and he started talking about it. I mean, that was the news that Cass lost.
Yeah, word went around. Word definitely went around.
Right, right. They say word, for bad news, word gets around just like that.
Yes. But good news, it take a minute.
It takes a minute and a half.
It takes a minute. And it's so nice because um, I went to my police station community liaison, and he reached out and he went to different entities to try to get some kind of help and assistance through our community,
Right.
just to say something positive about the police station, because our police force, there's such negative things that are happening. But Mr. Hall from the 10th precinct, officer Sergeant Jordan Hall, he extended his hand, and he made whatever means available for us, that it was there, that we were able to reach it. He even reached out to a couple of local news stations. Um, Unfortunately, we weren't able to get together, because normally when they wanted to do it, we were either at our appointment or he was at school. But they really was there. They extended the hand. They even come around and drive by our house just to keep a check on it and whatever.
Oh, that's so
So
wonderful.
I just wanted to say that that's just something really
Jordan
positive.
Hall,
Sergeant Jordan Hart,
Sergeant Jordan
community
Hall.
liaison for the 10th precinct.
Shout out. And the 10th precinct, that used to be my precinct. I mean, when lived over
Uh
there,
huh.
I grew up in the 10th precinct.
Yeah, 204.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. That was my zip code too.
I know. That's why I say it's ours
Yeah,
too. It's
yeah,
204.
right, right. I mean, because, like you say, police get such a bad rap, and
Mm
there's some stuff in the news right now. I think it's about the state police
hmm.
and
Mm
this
hmm.
young man who was on an ATV, I mean,
Mm hmm.
some kind of vehicle. But, Terry, so you're in 11th grade now.
Yes.
Right. So, do you have a full schedule?
Not yet. Not at all, actually. Not
You
yet.
don't have your schedule yet?
No, usually since there's so many incoming freshmen, they usually work on the freshman schedules first, and then get all ours.
Oh, okay. When do you pick it up?
First, second day of school, depending on when they
Oh,
make it.
really? Because
You
some
know,
school
some
districts.
schools. Let me clarify something. Because of Terry in dialysis, he's only in school 2 whole days out the week, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays. Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. Terry leaves school at approximately what, 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yes.
So he's missing classes. So due to the vigorous appointments and other things, his grades lack. So the criteria of CAS is you have to have that 3.0 basically. But by him being out, so he had to go to summer school. So the district automatically sends out a letter to say, hey, you got to go to another school. But in actuality, he don't have to go. He
Right.
just, when school starts back, I have to take him back up there, and they'll get him a schedule.
Right, 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 right. Oh, okay. Because I was saying usually they give
They
the
normally
schedule
online.
early.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know.
No,
Online.
normally here lately they you can get your schedule off of, what is this, Student Connect.
Yeah.
If you're enrolled in that school, normally your schedule will come up there.
So, Terry, what are you looking forward to after you get the transplant?
No dialysis really. That's very time consuming. Take a lot of time out of my week.
So, where do you get dialysis?
Children's Specialty Center.
Is that connected with Children's Hospital?
It's across the street.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't even notice it if you drove by.
Really?
Really. I didn't until I actually had to go there. Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, with you're kind of used to it now, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing every week.
And do you bring food with you?
Nope, they don't even allow food back
Good,
here.
because I heard some places people bring buckets of chicken with them. My girlfriend, her mother would get dialysis. She'd be there, and people had buckets of chicken. They were eating it. It seemed like that went counter to what?
Mm-hmm. Contamination. This you can't really be in there eating like that.
Wow, that's something. So, what is your ambition? What do you want to do?
What I want to do, I probably like go into like sports medicine or like be a commentator of some sort.
You could do it all, you know. You could do it all. Don't even think that you could just do one thing and you can do it all. And you're looking for a job right now? How are you going to do that? How can you do that?
I'm gonna try to work midnights. Um, because I, financially I need to be able to provide. So I need to go to work. And right now, the only thing I can see is
Tell
working
my
mid.
tell my audience about it.
So only thing I need to do now is to be able to work and work midnight so I can get him to where he needs to be in the daytime and be able to provide. I mean, we still have to live beyond this point.
What kind of job would you like?
I mean, I have a job lined up
Oh,
basically,
good, good.
um, but it takes transportation, so that's what I'm working on now. It's transportation.
24 miles an hour, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody have? I know somebody has a car. If I had one, I sure
Oh,
would give it to you. I
yeah.
swear. Because I know people have cars they're talking about they'll give it to charity or something like this. I mean, this is a person who wants to work. This is a person who has a family and has so much going on. And we know that God will provide.
Yes.
But I just think that 24 miles per hour is a little bit too slow to be driving. And then you leave the house. Or I am not laughing,
I will
but you
laugh. I
you
laugh at
you
it
leave.
every time, like, because he be looking at me, and then I laugh at him because people pass us up all the time. But he's like, "Mom," he say, he said, here they come past you. So we all made it to it be a game. Like, okay, and then just say somebody got a flat tire. Oh, I'm ratting past you real fast. I'm ratting past you real fast.
And waving.
And we made him laugh. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm passing him now.
You know you're gonna look back on this. You're gonna look back on this and laugh. Of course, you're
I
looking at
laugh
it
at it
today and
now, and
laugh.
I'm
Yeah,
laughing at it. It's
but
like,
you're gonna think about those times. You
mm-hmm,
know, you really are gonna. I always tell my mother about scrambled egg Thursday nights because
mm-hmm,
that's the night before
payday.
was payday.
Mm-hmm,
And so I would remember that we'd have scrambled eggs and bread and stuff. I mean,
mm-hmm,
no dinner.
mm-mm,
And I remember that, and I didn't think about it then as being out of the ordinary.
mm-hmm.
But
It was what you had.
yeah, I
And,
was
and he,
grateful for it.
and he laughs, and I say, you know what? You never really struggled. I say, we've had problems or whatever. Say, but you got lights, you got gas, you got food. You've never really knew the struggle. This was just on our way here, and he was like, "Well, yeah." He said, "Well, what you gonna do?" I say, "What you mean? What I'm gonna do? I provide. Don't I give you what you need?" I ain't got no money in so long. I'm like, "But you living."
Well, you know, young people, I remember my son would say, "Ma, I don't have the latest, Jordans or something like that." And he played basketball. And I said, one day you play your cards right, you'll be able to buy anything you want, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful he's able to get anything he wants now. If you go on and, you know, study, do what you got to do. And I know Cass has a rigorous schedule. I mean, rigorous classes, some of them.
Hmm.
Not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them. I'm not gonna say that,
Not all of them. And you just have to do what you're supposed to do. Terry, I think of you as a hero. I think of your mom as a heroine, which is the female hero, superwoman, because we don't know what we're capable of sometime until we are challenged.
Ooh, that's an understatement. Because could nobody tell me? Could nobody tell me that? Uh, all I could see was, oh my God, he's about to go this and do that because he just so awesome. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen a kid that you just know has such a bright future into whatever they decide to do,
Yeah.
and then to be knocked down in one swoop of an arm, like God say, you up here this far, just knock you down. You got to come back up.
He
You,
doesn't give you
I don't know.
anything more than you
You
can
can bear.
handle.
I know.
Right.
I mean, I know that he's not going to allow anything to happen that is not his will. So maybe football and whatever was not his actions. Maybe that's not what was in the sidelines for him.
But
Even though that was something we had to tell him because that was the only thing he cried about when he found out his kidneys was failing. Was like, could I play football again? And the doctor was like, no.
No, I was gonna cry eventually. It was just I was holding those tears in.
But you let him go when they said no.
I know all that built up.
but you can learn all about it. Like you said, commentation. You being a commentator. When you go to college, even if you're going to be studying sports medicine or whatever, you can still become a part of. Most colleges have that. They have a radio station. They have all sorts of
Mm-hmm.
things. I would take a class. I would take a couple of classes and end up getting on that station, interning, and then becoming an on-air personality. That can, I mean, really, you never know. That may be one of those humbug things that people
Mm-hmm.
say. God, this kid is good, and you have a great voice. But I know you could be animated too, and you know those sports people, they're
Mm-hmm.
crazy. No, not crazy, but kind of animated. When they see certain things.
Right.
So is
Mm-hmm.
football your favorite sport?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I don't know about football. I like basketball, but but football just is so rough.
I know contact. Look
Yeah,
at me. His mama crazy in that way too. Like I used to tell him he used to be a nerd. He used to sit up because his sisters are so many years apart from so many years from him. It's like they would be spelling everything when he was little around him. So he would sit on the on the computer and play dictionary.com so he could learn words so he could get up in their face. You
right,
can't spell this. You can't spell that.
But
right.
knowledge is power, though.
Yeah,
Knowledge is
knowledge
power.
is power, but knowledge was making you round. So that's why I put you in football. He was like a
Did you play a
ball.
PAL team?
Yes,
Hmm.
I
Which
did.
one?
Ooh, which one?
Or which three?
I played for the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Rams.
My grandson's on the Rams.
Really?
Yeah, Rams. Aren't
Oh,
they like number one? Well, right now.
Ooh, number one right now. Ooh,
Yeah,
they are.
yeah. The Rams, the 7 Mile Rams, or
West
whatever.
Seven.
Yeah.
West Seven.
West Seven Rams. Yeah, they are
Yeah.
good. They won a national. One of the teams won a national
Hmm.
last year.
Yeah.
Uh
They
huh.
they pretty good. We can't say anything bad about the Rams. I mean, they helped with the fundamentals of football for him,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that was good enough.
um, well, he was on another team, and then he got recruited for the Rams, and the Rams seem to have a system. I'm now. I'm That's what my daughter says. I just go pick him up, and I hate that. I go pick him up. There are 50 million people out there. I said, where did all these people come from? Golly. But it's a teamwork.
It's teamwork.
I think teamwork is one of the best things, being part of something.
Yes, ma'am.
Because when you become an adult, you have to work with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And it's so funny you say that. It's like he played for the Rams. My daughter coached for the Steelers, and
Was she a cheerleading coach or
cheerleading coach. And I end up getting zapped into it this year to being her assistant cheerleading coach. I'm like, Lord Jesus, I ain't coached in years.
how many? I mean, that the Rams like have 5,500 cheerleaders. I said,
And 30 coaches for each team. So
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, it's a competitive world in Little League.
So, what does Coach Wilcher have you doing?
What does he have me doing? He usually just has me like,
Speak.
oh yeah. He usually has me like help out with like team, like help out with the younger guys, teach them some stuff,
That's
and
good.
yeah, just help out.
Peer mentoring.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, well, he has to. I mean, that loss, man. When does the regular football season start?
That was regular football season.
I thought that was just exhibition.
No, it
No.
felt like it, but that was a real game right there. That was one.
Wow, amazing. Um, well, a lot of good teams lost that day. A lot of good
Yeah.
teams. In fact, didn't they play again?
Who?
I mean, they. I thought some teams ended up playing twice on the weekend.
No, I don't think so. I'm
Oh,
not sure
okay.
about that. I'm not 100% sure
I,
on that.
I'm probably wrong myself. I'm probably wrong myself. But so you need a car. 24 miles an hour, everybody. What if you were stuck like Chuck with that? Because we know that a transmission.
That's what it is.
Oh, you might as well buy another car.
And that's what I said. I'll ride this one till the wheels fall off and pray that it takes me.
So you put your feet all the way down on the gas, and it only goes. I mean, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. I be, uh, any minute. It don't let me feel like a wave gonna come by. Then I feel like a breeze, like the wind. Seem like the wind just push it a little bit further. He laughs at me. He like, Ma. He said, you act like you blowing in the wind. I open the sunroof like it's going real fast in the summer. In summer, I open the roof. It goes like we going real fast. Look, and then my arm always out the window. He's like,
Like,
Why
calm
is the
down,
arm
speed
out the
racer.
window?
that's just my little nervous tick. I don't curse like really. So that's my nervous tick be tap on the outside of the car. Don't want to really let him see I'm frustrated, but in my mind, be like, Jesus, please, Jesus, just take the wheel, Jesus, take get us there.
Well, the one thing about it is, I'd like to really implore any of my audience, if you know anybody who might have a car, to contribute to the cause, and this is a cause, uh, call the station, ask for me, and give me a number. Leave a number, and I'll make sure that Mrs. Irby gets it. Because 24 miles an hour, that's kind of dangerous too. Because some people are driving. Some people.
Yeah, I'm the backstreet queen. Every if and you know how people Google road maps of how they get to where they need to go.
Mine says avoid freeways.
And look, I put in there instead of driving, I put walk, so they could teach me the top side to go, and it sometimes they say it'd be like, no, and it ain't about 15, 20 minutes ordinarily, but by the time I put in there for walk, it say 3 hours. I said we'll beat that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So because I had to take topside. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get there regardless. But I'm gonna just go back streets, down streets, cross the street. Don't matter. Oh, one day we got. I'll give you a good one. One day we was coming out Davidson. And you know how
Oh no.
Davidson going to the
Transit
freeway,
freeway.
and I was trying to turn off on Woodrow Wilson so
Right.
we don't have to go down.
But you missed it.
This man just wouldn't let me get over, and I couldn't speed up to pass him. And he wanted to go slow down, or go speed up so I could go behind him. And he just riding side by side with me, like he looking in my car. I'm like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" So he in the car with me, and we don't hit the freeway.
Oh
He
gee.
say, "Mama," I'm like, I'm there. We gonna get it. I'm like, Jesus, I'm take the wheel. I'm put these hazard lights on so they know it's a problem, and maybe they won't. But everybody and their mama came around and gave me the finger, cussed me off, and, and all we could do was laugh.
Oh my God. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that was a great day.
That's so precarious. Like I say, check your garage. If the car turns on and works and goes over 24 miles an hour, we could use your help. I'm serious.
If they would like to make a donation, they
Tell us about it. Tell us about it. Look in the camera and tell us about it.
um we also have a GoFundMe page.
Love in the money.
It's Go Beyond Giving.
Go
Terry
beyond. Go beyond giving.
Get on the bus. That's basically the campaign, but hashtag Go Beyond Giving. And if you would like to make a donation, that would be helpful too
Right. Right.
towards
Right.
our $1,400 transmission.
Oh, please. I hope you could get another car. Just something to happen
I just
because
and I pray that I get either some kind of transportation. So if I can get to work,
absolutely.
if I can get to
Because
work,
that's
all
what
of this is subside everything.
right, right. Because a lot of people they lose their jobs because their transportation.
That's an unbelievable thing, and it's like I've had this job set for me, but she's been so kind and understanding because she knows the situation with my son, and she's like, well, we're gonna work with you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
When let us know because he was supposed to have the transportation. I mean, the transplant in September, the beginning of the school year, and unfortunately, the donor wasn't able to do it until winter break, which is fine. How it don't matter to me how long he take, but I just want him, to get there. So
Terry, Miss Irby, you two are so good. You're, I mean, you will triumph. You will triumph, honestly, over this.
oh yes, this is just a hiccup,
It is.
and
It
we'll get
is.
over it.
It is. I mean, yeah, not everybody, but some people. I think God selects people because I was in an accident at 18. They told my mother I'd never walk again. Never, 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 never. Ford Hospital told her, but
Yeah.
after months, I was able to.
Hmm.
Well, after the surgery and all that stuff, but you know, doctors don't always know what's down the
Nope.
line. God has something for you down the
That's what I
line.
say. This is just
Hmm.
a hiccup. You know, most people ask Lord move my mountain. No, I just want the strength to climb.
The
Don't
strength
move.
decline. I
I don't want you to move it because that could be within. You never know what your barrier is. I'm just asking the
absolutely.
Lord to help me get over it.
I know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get back to what we were talking about, but I will talk about it. I got another show two shows this week. But Terry, I wish you the best. I appreciate the updates. Let's get that GoFundMe a page again. What is it?
Go beyond giving. Hashtag go beyond giving. Terry Irby get on the bus campaign.
So in the computer, they go to the GoFundMe.
Yes, ma'am. And go is hashtag go beyond giving.
Hashtag Go Beyond Giving. So I think things are working out. They are.
Yes, ma'am. They are. God is so good, and I.
We need that car. We need that car. Just call me if you have something or know someone who has some access. We have to help each other. We have to.
And I just want to thank you, Miss Perryman. When we were on here before, just just to know the people know our story, and it was really really helpful. And a lot of people, after we were on here, it was like, you were on Miss Perryman's show, weren't you? How's your son? And
Oh
it
well.
was so touching to know that people really listen.
Well,
I'm a water here, and I'm
okay.
sorry.
Everybody, I'll see you Friday morning. Have a great week.